Okay, welcome everybody. So who wants to show the Figma first? We don't have all night, guys. No one? No one, okay. No one, okay, good. And who wants to show me the Kanban? I don't hear anything. Anybody?
Doctor, I think we showed you last class our
You show me the,
Figma.
yes, you showed it to us and it was very professional. Yeah.
I think we showed you both. I think there were 2 groups left.
So any of those people would like to show the Figma and Kanban? Most importantly, the Kanban. No? Okay. Well, so I will review the Figma and Kanban and give you some feedback later. Now, once you have this Figma prototype, what is the next step? So the next step is to see if the users like it. And how do you do that? Well, there is a job called usability expert. And this is a job like programmer, front-end developer, database developer. It's a job. The best people who do the job is not engineers, is people that has studied anthropology, because they understand human behaviors. And it's good if you know a bit of psychology and anthropology to learn what the user is feeling. So these people are usually the best people suited for these roles. And so that's why I suggested on Slack to watch this lynda.com course. It's 15 minutes long, but it's one of the best courses where you can learn usability. And there will be questions in the exam from this video. And the most important feedback of this video before you watch it is that it tells you that if you want to get feedback from the user, you don't go and show the app and say, what do you think? You just let them use the app, don't say anything, and observe what they do and where they fail. And if you do that, you don't interfere with the process. And it's the same way they will use the app when you are not there. So you should be as invisible as possible. There are various ways to test, various styles, but with Figma, as I understand, you can download the screenshots into a phone, any phone, and then it's very similar to the real experience. So it gives you high fidelity feedback. You do that and you see where they fail. You see where they get lost. And then you can build what it's called a user journey. And a user journey, basically, you put x-axis, all the steps, all the screens in your app, or where the navigation of your user. And then on the y-axis, you put the happiness, right? And so you will see screens where everything is good and the user is happy, and screens where the user maybe is lost because the UX is bad or it's confusing. And the user journey map usually helps developers to improve the product because it helps you detect, oh, this user, when after the login in the search box, he spent 3 minutes without knowing what to do because you observe how they did it. Whoa, okay, we have a problem, right? Because it's not acceptable to spend 3 minutes figuring out what to do. And so that's how you build a user journey map. You have a lot of examples in the internet and many styles. Think about this, for example, hospitals in America like Kaiser Permanente. They have full-time usability experts and UX experts assessing and doing user journey maps of their hospitals. So I met one such person a few years ago in California, and she told me, yeah, so what we do is for a few days, 2 or 3 days, we just we follow a doctor 24 hours a day when he's working. And then we take pictures of what he's doing, we take notes, we try not to interfere too much, we try to be invisible, fly on the wall, they call it. And then we go back to our office and we have a room, and all the walls in the room, we put this journey of the doctor, yes? And then we do the same for a patient, and we have the 24 hours or the 48 hours that the patient was in the hospital. And we see where he was happy, usually in the checkout maybe, or in the check-in, I don't know, or when he got the food, or when the nurse came and said something nice to him. And when he was most unhappy, maybe he was for 3 hours alone, or he wanted to go to the bathroom and he couldn't move, or he was trying to call someone and couldn't reach, whatever it is. And that helps the hospital find out how to improve and where to put effort to improve. So user journey maps usually are popular. You don't need to fill your house, a room of your house, with a user journey map, but that's what they do in big companies because there's a lot of information and there's a lot of things sometimes. And you can do a user journey map in Miro, in Figma itself, you can do it. And the important thing is to take your user persona, somebody real, and do not interfere too much in how they use the app. Typical mistake is that you make an app, you go to your friend or your mom or your brother and say, how do you like it? How do you like it, right? Oh, no, you have to click here. But that's not a real feedback. Sounds good? Great. And so the next, what you have to do today, just spend 15 minutes watching these fabulous usability videos, take notes, and I will ask you questions later on about, for example, when we are having feedback, how many people should we ask? 5 people, 10 people, when it's enough? When should we stop, right? So that's a very interesting question. How many people should you show your app before you are sure that that's the correct opinion or that's the opinion of the majority, and so on. Sounds good? Once you know how to do this, which is a very useful skill, trust me, you do this feedback session, and that you will have completed one iteration of your design cycle, right? You build something, you collect feedback, you have data, and now you know if what you build is in the right direction or not. And now, most importantly, you have real data from real people to tell you what to do next and what to improve next and where you to spend your limited amount of time. Sounds good? So what you will learn in this next sprint is to build a user journey map and to use it properly. And you can obviously you cannot build a user journey map without real data. It doesn't make sense. Yes. So questions? No questions? Shahad, Deshay, Fatima.
All good, doctor.
Okay, so that's it. If you have no more questions, I'll be here on Slack. Just ask me anything. And so what I would like you to do now is to watch this video, and then the next session. I don't know how you can do this with this coronavirus situation, but the idea is that you show your app to someone, preferably a stranger, and you observe how he uses the app. That's one of the best things to do. There are other ways to get feedback. Another way to do that you will see in the videos.
By the way, I'm in hostel. It's okay. I will show my friends. It's okay. I can do it.
That is fantastic. But friends are your worst.
Not friends, and strangers. It's okay.
Strangers. That's better. That's better. And,
it's okay.
And that's very good. So you will see in the videos how they do it. Like the guy sits far away from the tester and almost doesn't talk to the tester. He's just observing what he does and where he fails and where he doubts and where his eyebrow goes like, I don't understand this. And then he said, he hesitated here, right? This was a bad moment. It was not clear why. Okay, right? Without telling. There is a thing called the think aloud protocol, where we ask the person testing the app to say what he or she is thinking. Because sometimes just by observing, we don't know what's happening in their heads. So you can ask at the beginning, okay, so I want you to just say aloud what you are thinking while you are using the app. So maybe the user will say, I'm looking for the login button. I don't find it. It's here, okay. Now there's a lot of pictures, but I don't know what to do. Okay. Yes, so that's called think aloud protocol. And there's a few of these protocols, and depending on the situation, each one works better. You can also record these things, because then if you have a recording, you can watch it a few times, and then you can see details that you didn't see if you're just there observing. Because when you're there observing, you have to manage a few things, you might be distracted. So it's a very good idea to record these things. And also afterwards, when you do a report, you have pictures. So it's very nice. I mean, you don't have to show the faces, but it's really good for yourself. Questions? So this job of usability expert, a UX designer, which is very close, it was a very, very hot job a few years ago. And it was very funny because people that didn't study hard things at university then would get these high profile jobs more than engineers that had studied very hard and then would get a very difficult job. And then these anthropologists would get even a better job, which just looks like easier. Yeah. So there was a big, a funny situation. But a few years ago, there were very few usability experts, and it became a very hot, trending topic. Now there are enough usability experts, so it's not such a hot job. So if you go to websites, look for the salaries of these people. They're not as high as a few years ago, but a few years ago it was like crazy high. It's incredible. Good. So usability as a fascinating field and subtopic. If for one of my friends, for example, here in Dubai, his master thesis was about usability UX of Arabic languages. So language that you write from left to right, right? And he got hired by Google because Google realized that they needed to do Arabic language website, that they didn't know anybody. They didn't have anybody at Google that knew how it should look good in Arabic, because it's not just translating the English into Arabic. The formatting is different, right? All these things we all know because we use the Word version of Microsoft in Arabic sometimes, and it's a disaster, right? And so he got a really, really cool job just by knowing this thing. So it's a very interesting topic, and there's a lot of things to do in the Arabic world and in languages that are written not like English, so from right to left. Okay, so that's it for today. And watch the videos. If you don't watch them, you will feel the pain in the exam. So totally watch it, and then it's very good for you, really. Right? Do we have to talk anything else?
Doctor, so this week we check the videos of Linda.
No,
and...
well, you check it today because the class today is shorter.
Yeah,
so
yeah, I know. I mean this week. This week,
and then with this knowledge, the next session you'll do it by yourself. I want you to do a usability study, right? So it should take 1 or 2 hours max. Yeah. And write a small report. And the report, the core of the report is the user journey map. So you also have to learn how to do a user journey map, but it's very easy. The best user journey maps have pictures. Like when the user was lost and he's doing like, oh, I don't know what is it. Boom, picture. And that's so valuable, right? These are really cool. I don't know if you can do it, but
the
user was in the screen, but you can take a screen of the user phone there, like so that's really useful. And so it's I think it's a lot of fun. I love user journey maps. Such a good tool. Good. That's it. Once you have this user journey map, you have completed one experiment loop or design loop, and you can know, you will learn more about the users, about yourself, about the app. And with this knowledge, you can better plan the next sprint. Yes, you already built a Kanban, but this Kanban is very crude, of course, because you don't have information. You don't know what's going on with the users and so on. Once you finish this, you will have a much clearer idea of the difficulty of the task and what you want to do next. And remember that in Agile, we want to give the customer the highest value possible for every sprint, right? So think, what is the easiest thing you can do that gives me, remember I'm your customer, which gives me, and remember I'm paying you, right? Think that I am paying you each week I'm spending my money so that you spend time doing this work, and I will be happy if I see the maximum value developed for me, right?
Yes.
I will not be very happy if you develop a login feature that you don't learn anything about the core of the app, right? All the logins are the same, and so on. Sounds good?
Yes.
Questions?
Question is like, can we interview someone within the family or like?
Yeah, but I think the most important thing is that you follow the protocol, that you don't interfere, and the videos of
Yeah,
Linda,
yeah.
they
We
explain,
just
you
stay
will,
away and then.
yeah, but there's a technique. What they do in the video, they write the task they have to do. So because even if you speak, you will influence. The way you speak sometimes influences
Yeah.
the mood of the people.
So we just set up and put the video and
You
go
will see in
away.
the video, sometimes they print the instructions like, hey, here's an app here, read the instructions and just do that, and tell me what you say aloud, what you're thinking while you are using the app. Sometimes they even do this to interfere the list. So you will see it in the video, they're very professional.
So should we make a list or should we not make a list?
A list of what?
Instructions.
Depends on you. Do you want an A+ or you want an A-?
I want A+.
Well, then think if that would, having a list will help you after watching the usability mini course. And if you think it will help you, I mean, you know what's best. Maybe you think it's useful, do the list. It's very short time.
Maybe we should do both, like for one person with the list and one person without the list.
Yeah. So, because you cannot, one thing you have to understand, you cannot give the app to a user and say, use this. Sometimes what they do is, okay, use this app. So imagine a real estate app or a Dubizzle app. Yeah. Imagine Dubizzle trying that app for the first time. It's hard to go to a user and say, hey, let me know what you think about this app. That doesn't work very well. It's much better to say, use this app and try to find a second-hand bicycle. Usually they do this task.
Okay, got it.
We don't care about the task, but usually this is the situation that you will have with the user. The user wants to accomplish something, goes to Dubizzle, to the app, and so put yourself, do that situation, create a real situation, and they give them a fake task. And so maybe you build your prototypes where it works only for finding a second-hand bicycle. It's perfectly fine. And then you get a very good feedback. Sounds good?
Yeah.
Questions?
But our prototype is like without the username, password. It's like you go from one page to another.
That's wonderful. That's
yeah. It's okay, right?
Yeah. Think that logins, for example, login pages, all these things are being de-intermediated. Like nobody, soon you will buy
Nobody
from
likes
a
them
third.
a lot.
No, there are companies that sell this for you. So it will be soon. So more and more components of the app are being de-intermediated because they're always the same for all the apps. So there's some company that does them very well, only does that. And then they goes to the other apps and say, hey, you want a professional login that never fails, it's always updated. And so you can focus on your core. And there are many, for example, subscriptions of apps. Most of the apps, they use a third-party subscription company that manages the code to have professional subscription management and stuff like that. So this is happening. And so you don't even have to worry about programming a login page anymore.
Okay.
This is good and bad, but it's the way it is. That's called componentization. And the guys who are in the visualization course, if you draw a worldly map, you could see very interesting things going on in the commoditization of components of the app. Some of the components are being commoditized completely. Wow, good. Super fascinating topic. I love this topic, UX and usability. And I tell you, a few years ago, you could make a lot of money. And now, not so much, but still pretty fun. And if you know Arabic culture and Arabic language, and you know IT, you have a bright future. Questions? Questions?
No
Ali,
questions, doctor.
Thank you.
Elsie, Mariam, Nura,
No, thank you, sir.
Shuk. Okay, that's it. Have fun with the videos. Let me know.
Sir?
And ask me. Yeah.
Okay, so
We want to present our Figma.
Hallelujah. Bring it on. Bring it
Amina.
on. Okay, 5 minutes you have. Shoot, share your screen.
You need
Can
to
you
allow me first.
Let's see, how do I do this? So my computer crashed and I'm on the phone. So let's see.
by the way,
I found-
my computer
Yes.
also crashed.
It was, did Zoom make it crash or what was it?
Actually, I slipped, water slipped on it. That's the problem.
Oh no, that's terrible. Listen, I don't know how to enable the, I have no idea how to enable this. Let's see. On the phone, no, I don't know how to do it.
Sir, you press participants.
Thank you. Thank God somebody. Is everybody in the class? 23 participants. Wow. Everybody's here. Okay. And now what?
Now you press on her name. Shema, I
What's the
think.
name? Shema? Shema.
Emma.
Shema what? There's a lot of Shema. Shema Al-Saidi? Shema
Yes.
A? Which one?
Yes, Shema
Al-Saidi.
Saadi. Yeah.
Okay, okay. You are the boss now. I made you host. You're the big boss now. You decide everything now.
Okay,
Good.
I will share it now.
Right. Does everybody see the screen of Shema?
Yes, we see it.
Yes.
So here is our
I see it.
prototype.
That's beautiful.
We did like sign in, sign
Wow,
up.
very professional. I like the pointer. Very cool.
Thank you. Or we can continue as a guest.
Wonderful.
And here we can check the pharmacies.
So cool.
Search, view all pharmacies.
Wow.
And then,
Mm.
for example, seeing this. Okay,
Interesting.
and
Cool.
then we can add.
Uh-huh.
And here is the description and information.
Oh, the description that's hard to find sometimes.
And for the cart, we have like an additional functionality, or I don't know.
Khaled says whoa. Khaled says whoa. Why do you
He's
say
one
whoa,
of the
Khaled?
group members.
Good, very good.
And
That
then
looks very professional.
we have like annual subscription if they are taking a medicine frequently.
Khaled is impressed. Yeah.
They
Women
can
usually
read
explain things very well, Khaled. Go on.
They can read more about it, how to do the annual subscription. They can also upload like documentation for the medical.
Why would they want to upload the prescription? To
because
get the
it's medical.
medicine. Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it.
And then they can add. They have their account. They can add the address.
Very amazing. Okay, we've seen enough. It's enough. It's very good. So with this, you could do a very good usability test. And remember, your job is to find where the user is confused or unhappy or will leave the app because, yes? Good. Well done. Good job. Who's next? Do you want to show me your Kanban? Hello.
Sure. Wait, I will share it. So we actually have another board for our group.
Wow. Okay. A secret board or something. Kanban board.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Right.
I think
So
there's
what's the status
something
now?
here, but okay.
كبري شما.
Okay.
Okay, so I want to say something before you start. User stories, I gave you this format, no? As a patient, I would like to blah, 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 blah. But, don't take this as all the stories have to be like this, okay? You can also write, we need to implement the login, okay? Does it make sense?
Okay.
So you could write, one story could be the login. The other, some things are evident. You don't need to follow this format all the time, right? Okay. So don't.
Okay. Like the tasks in here.
Yeah, I mean, it's very good because you know who's the user as a patient, as a doctor, and then what they want to do, right? What's the real job they want to do, right? This is a very good format, but sometimes you don't need to follow this exact format all the time. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So that's one question. So what you're doing now is the user journey map. This is what you're gonna do this week. That's fantastic. And here you could detail who, if you distribute the work, you could say who's doing what part of the user journey map. So that's also very good. Yeah.
Okay.
And then if you have 50 people in your team, you know who's doing what all the time, and it's fantastic. Yes. That's good.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Good. Fantastic. Who's next?
Our group will present next class.
Igor, go for it.
No, I'm saying that our group will present next class.
Oh, next slide. Okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, so we stop here, guys. Any other questions?
No questions.
All right. Well, it was a pleasure. And so the next session, you work.
Take care, sir.
Yes, thank you very much. The next session, you work by yourself, and then that will have completed what we call one sprint, which is usually 1 or 2 weeks in a normal company. But that means 10 working days. And here we will do 3-4 sessions because we want to do a few sprints before the course ends. So our sprints are not as deep as they will be in a real company, right? But still you get the idea. All right, cool. So the next week we'll learn new things, and I hope every new tool you learn, you use it. Yeah,
Doctor.
cool. Awesome. Yeah.
The user's map, the journey map, I mean, is it goes hand in hand with the testing, or there are things that
what do you think? Should it be hand in hand, or should it be before?
Hand in hand. I think hand in hand, right?
I would say after, like how you're gonna build it before you have data. I mean, you first do the usability test, you test the app with the users, and then all these data, all these videos, then you analyze it, and then you can build, and then you do it for 3-4 users, and then you can build maybe a journey map for each user or the average journey. Yeah.
So a journey map is for a particular user?
Depends. There are many flavors of user journey map. You should think what is most useful to your team. So remember, the user journey map visualizes the journey of the user, because what happens, the user journey is very long sometimes. We don't realize, but for example, this class user journey, it's a lot of steps. Logging in Zoom. Zoom crashed. Pick up the phone, logging in Zoom again from the phone, right? Then I don't know how to let people do share the screen. I have to ask. This was a terrible user experience for me, isn't it?
Yes, really terrible.
But it's
Yes.
worse in Skype, and it's worse on Teams, right? So if Zoom wanted to improve their product, what should they do? They should do a user journey map of a few users and see, oh my God, we have real issues. Like people don't know how to find the share screen. They don't know, right? Every time, I'm telling you, every time I don't know how to share. I cannot find this menu. It's so small. Maybe I'm old, but you know what I mean? I'm also a user. So maybe Zoom should do 2 user journey maps, one for old people and one for millennials. Sounds good?
Doctor.
Yes.
Doctor, where do you find the videos that you told us to watch?
What's your name? Khalid. It's on Slack. I think somebody can share with Khalid the link to Linda. You can log in with your UAU account, courtesy of UAU University, which was a very good idea.
All right. Thank you.
This Linda has an amazing content. Wow, it's really high class. Yeah. All right. If there are no more questions, thank you, Ayman. We will stop here.
Sure.
Everybody's here, 23 people. Fantastic, full house. Then I'll see you not on Tuesday, on next Sunday. Sounds good?
Yeah.
But share your user journey maps with you so I can give you feedback.
We put it in Miro.
Perfect. Okay, so just share with me the link again, or say, hey, check out Miro, and I can give you some feedback in Miro directly. Yeah.
Sure.
Awesome, guys. See you soon.
See
ciao,
you.
ciao.
Bye.
Bye, sir. Bye.
Ciao, ciao.
Thank you.
Have a good day, doctor.